James Harrison joining us in the herd on a Monday today. All fired up. Great to see you, my man.
Good to be back.
So let me start with one thing. I know, I've never bought into Baker as a number one pick. I think he's Case Keenum. And Case Keenum, if you give him the right people, can win games. But yesterday, against a lousy defense, the Browns gave Baker 4 turnovers. He's got some real pieces there. They have enough running backs in Cleveland. They traded one on the weekend. Mm-hmm. I don't see Baker as a number one pick. Unlike Twitter, I don't think he's playing great. What do you see?
I didn't see him as a number one pick either. I think they, reached a little bit. I feel that he is the best quarterback on that team right now, and he's a rookie. He's doing rookie things right now. So I think that's just part of the growing, pains that you're going to have with a rookie. I think they won a couple games with him, and all of a sudden, they were, thinking he was the next coming, and that's just not the case.
Hugh Jackson called out essentially Todd Haley. I said when Baker got drafted, the reason I would have taken Sam Darnold in a northern division against the Steelers, Browns, Bengals, he's a bigger, stronger kid. Mm-hmm. He's a 6'3", and he's all a 6'3". Big hair, big hand, everything big. And also, he can deal with the dysfunction in Cleveland. He's a very kind of Phil Simms, low-key, can have a coach bark at him. I think Cleveland already looks dysfunctional. I think Haley and Hugh Jackson are already banging on.
Well, you got 2 real big personalities there. And,
you know
right
both?
now, yeah. Yeah, and right now, things aren't going exactly the way they want it to go, and they're feeling like the offense isn't doing exactly what they should have did, especially after the output they just put up in Tampa there. So, he's the head coach. He's feeling like this is my job. I have done this before, and that's what I do, and this is what I'm going to do if I need to do it, and. I mean, like you said, he's the head coach. I don't know if that's the right thing to do because now you're questioning your own judgment that you made in hiring, Haley. I think the record before that was he won, 1 or 2 games before that as the coordinator. So, I mean, he's already doubled your output in just the last, 6-7 games. So I would think you wouldn't go out there and call him out like that and be something behind closed doors like he said before. But, that's something that he did.
When you watch the Rams, they're obviously flashy. The division right now is not great. Arizona's rebuilding. San Francisco lost Garoppolo. They're rebuilding. How good are the Seahawks? Do you buy the Rams?
Yeah. I buy the Rams because they are putting out. And when it comes down to it, the defense is playing well. I don't buy into the Kansas City thing. The offense is playing great, no question about it, but they're dead last in defense. At some point in time, your defense is going to have to put up or shut up, and they haven't put up yet this year.
It's funny, James. We forget a majority of games are played like November 10th on in this league.
Right.
And every year we fall for September, October. You've been in this league forever. Explain to the audience the difference between Thanksgiving football on and pre-Thanksgiving.
Well, it's a feeling. You feel great at the beginning of the year, to be honest with you. It's when you get into them games after Thanksgiving, you got, 8-9 games on you now. And it's the wear and tear of the season. What guys are going to actually take care of their bodies so that they're able to perform at the same level they did in September? What guys are still working out just as hard so they have that same strength that when it comes down to, November, December ball, they can still perform. And a lot of guys, even, when I played, we'd play Cleveland, beginning of the year, and then you'd play them at the end. And you would feel the difference of strength in the guys that you were playing against. They were a lot weaker than they were at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, the Rams come at you from a lot of different angles. It's funny, for all the flash, they're kind of a power running team.
Yes.
It's a lot of Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh in the middle of the defense, right. And it's a lot of Todd Gurley.
I mean, those 2 guys right there, you need 4 guys to block them in any, pass play that you're trying to do. When you leave them one-on-one, you're taking a chance.
Yeah. When you look at, you played briefly for the Patriots, but their culture. Mm-hmm. So yesterday they won by a yard. The week before they won by a play. What is the difference with them? Because whenever it gets close, October on, I just feel like they win these games.
They play in all phases, and that was indicative of like what you just saw yesterday. Special teams came in and basically blew things up. It was 2 touchdowns. The offense, defense, special teams, they play well together. They everything they do is the Patriot way, and they make sure they take care of every phase of the game, and that was, an example of that.
By the way, Josh Gordon does appear, James, that there's an impact there.
Definitely. I mean, you got somebody that's a real deep threat, for Tom to throw to.
Yeah. So, I said people can tell me things. I'm mostly into show me things. Mm-hmm. A lot of people talk. I work out hard. You actually did work out hard. The Cowboys keep telling me they love Dak. Jerry Jones tells me he loves him. Jason Garrett tells me he loves him. But I keep watching them in these 2-minute drills, and they're playing for field goals. I mean, when I watch Dallas, they're not telling me they trust Dak. Isn't that are you seeing that?
I see them playing, like you said, conservative. At the end of the day, it's your starting quarterback, and it's what Jerry Jones believes to be his franchise quarterback. That's his feeling. So you're not going to go against that and say something opposite. But like you said, you're showing me that you don't believe that in the play calls that you're giving him, what you're allowing him to do. Do
you like Dak?
I like Dak as a person, but I think he's an average quarterback.
Why?
He's not the guy that's going to go out there and give you 350 yards if that's what he has to do to get the win. I don't feel like he's that quarterback.
It's funny. Tim Tebow had a 6-game winning streak in this league. You have to be able to win. I had a coach tell me this once. He goes, this is why he didn't buy into Tebow. He said, you can win 6 straight games with field goals and great defense. You may have that. But over the course of 15 years, there are going to be years that 6 defensive players get hurt and your special teams stink. If you can't win shootouts in this league, then you're not a franchise quarterback. Dak's he's not a shootout quarterback.
Oh, no.
He has to play a specific way,
right? And
the game has to be close.
It has to be close, yeah. You can't put him back there and gun and expect him to sling it 40, 50 times and come away with a win.
And that's why I think sometimes fans get fooled. Like Tebow goes on a winning streak or, Alex Smith goes on a winning streak. If the world's right and it's aligned on its axis and your defense is playing their butts off, yes, Alex Smith can reel off 9 out of 10 wins. But Dak plays one way, and if it doesn't go that way, it's not a win. Okay, so Philadelphia is obviously a good team. I still think they'll win their division. They got a good GM, a good coach, a good quarterback. By the way, Michael Bennett was great yesterday. They got plenty of good players.
Yes.
But it is different hunting to being hunted.
Right.
And they don't, James, quite look like last year.
Well, they're not the same as last year. Like you said, it's a difference between being the underdog. You got something that you're trying to get, you're getting off your check. You're trying to prove someone wrong. Now you're the measuring stick. You're the team that everybody is going to measure themselves against, because the team that went 0-16, if they're playing you right now, they want to beat you, because he can say to his team, you guys went out there and beat the defending Super Bowl champions. You yourself could beat Super Bowl champions. You have it in you. You just showed me that when you beat this team. So right now, what they're getting is everybody's best shot. And they don't understand that the work that it took to get there. Like, they started in probably January, February, before they won the Super Bowl, getting ready for the year that they did win the Super Bowl. After this year was over with, they probably didn't get started till OTAs. Guys are celebrating. You got, so many engagements that everybody wants to see the Super Bowl champion at. You're here, you're there. And even after that's done, something slipped in there around July, 4th for some type of celebration to, have one of the Super Bowl champions there. So you guys didn't. Oh, yes, definitely. We had the same thing in 2005 and 2008. Those 2 years, we didn't even make the playoffs after that. Now, the year that we went in 2010 and lost to Green Bay, we made the playoffs that next year. Why? Because we lost. We had something to prove. But when you go and you win that, you celebrate. And, a lot of guys celebrated too long.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, when you win a Super Bowl in Philadelphia, every car dealership,
Exactly.
Every car.
Oh, I'm telling you, everybody wants you here. They want you there. And I'm not going to even lie. My first Super Bowl, I was a special teams player. I literally made more money in that offseason than I did all year. Because everybody wanted to have you there. You know what I'm saying? Because you were the Super Bowl champions. And like I said, you're getting everybody's best shot that next year. And you got to realize that.
Good seeing you, bud.
You too.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.